When I came to London to start my residency, I remember just going into supermarkets to buy some groceries and get some stuff that I needed. And I think very early, already in the beginning, I was struck by these buckets of flowers, really fresh, beautiful flowers that would be standing in the entrance of like each supermarket that I would go to. And a lot of those flowers were roses. And I looked at the labels and saw that most of them are coming from Kenya, which then kind of reminded me on an article that I had read a couple of years ago about a woman a white Kenyan woman that had been murdered really brutally in 2006. And this murder was somehow connected to her activism around the cut flower industry that had developed on Lake Naivasha, which is in Kenya. This really came back to me, the memory of that article when I saw the roses, and then it really gave me the I really felt I have to go back and research much deeper into that. And my first goal here was to work with plants that have experienced violence during the colonial expansion of the British Empire. So it was more like, my attempt was more to look into the past. And all of a sudden I found this topic right in the present. And I felt this was really, this was really the way for me to go, because obviously these flowers are violated in a very brutal way. Not only the flowers, of course, there is much more connected to that. The social situations, the ecological situations, and the economic situations. So there is a whole thread of things coming when you start researching about this topic. And and that's why I proceeded in doing that, and especially doing this research here in London, as Kenya is, as we know, is still part of the Commonwealth and has until 1963 been a colony of Britain, of Great Britain. What I did during the research, or how I researched, was really reading books and reading articles, watching material that I could find online, also like diving into the life of this woman, the white Kenyan that was shot, who had a very interesting life herself. She was married to a wildlife filmmaker, and she became also very involved in the filmmaking in the 70s and 80s. And so there was actually a lot of footage around this topic, around this person, around the cut flower industry in Kenya that I could like gather and evaluate and put into my research. And also another part of the research, or like a more artistic approach, was that I started buying these roses from supermarkets for various prices in like various areas around the city where I would be coincidentally, or because I had to do something there. So I would always look for a supermarket that had flowers in their stores, and I would buy them and start a photographic series with the roses, like really looking at them on a daily basis, taking pictures from day to day, seeing how they develop. The residency here, which is called Goethe LUX Residency, is made as a pair of like two institutions. So it's Goethe on the one side and Lux on the other. And I had never had that before, but I feel there's a really big advantage of teaming up, pairing up as two institutions, because you can really add to a residency with very, very different points of view from that different institutions. And for me that was very, very positive, because if I had particular questions, the answers would be maybe different from the two different places, and it was very helpful. And also, in particular here in London, I really liked that I had this like two options you know, one is Goethe here in South Kensington, and the other one is Lux in Highgate, Waterloo Park, which are very differently located, and that was extremely interesting for me.